Recently, a passenger on a mainland Chinese flight shared a video that supposedly showed a flight attendant going row by row promoting merchandise. Would you like to check out this airplane model?
It's too expensive, I can't afford it.
Don't be so quick to turn me down. You can bargain. If 180 yuan doesn't work, how about 160? If not 160, then 100. And if not 100, then 50. If 50 doesn't work, then 20. The passenger who filmed the video was shocked and whispered, "Is this really happening?" The footage then shows the flight attendant playfully pouting and saying in a soft voice, "Got it? Let's start over. 180 yuan. The passenger casually responds with 160, to which the flight attendant quickly says, "Deal," and immediately takes out her phone, asking him to scan the QR code. The passenger looks around and quietly says, "Smart people are already asleep so as not to be the victim of the sales tactic. I need to make a quick escape." Then he headed to the restroom. In the comment section, some users pointed out that the item probably costs no more than 5 yuan. Others remarked on how intense the pressure has become for flight attendants, noting that street stalls have now moved to the skies. Another user claimed that there was something even more outrageous: flight attendants selling lottery tickets on board. On April 28th, a user posted a video showing a flight attendant selling lottery tickets on a low-cost West Air flight. The attendant was seen walking down the aisle, holding several 20 yuan lottery tickets and asking passengers if they were interested. No one responded. The video sparked discussion online. Some were shocked and expressed that this was the first time they had seen a flight attendant selling lottery tickets on board a flight. Comments included, "This shows how hard it is to make money nowadays," and "If even lottery tickets are being sold on planes, business must be really tough." Some joked, "They should sell them in temples like Mount Wu Tai. Business would be amazing there." Questions were also raised about whether selling lottery tickets on flights was legal, and how prizes would be claimed if passengers won. On April 30th, a West Air spokesperson confirmed that flight attendants are indeed selling lottery tickets. The airline has partnered with the Chongqing Welfare Lottery Issuing Center, and began offering tickets on select flights starting April 7th. The spokesperson added that winning passengers can redeem their prizes either through the flight attendants or the Chongqing Welfare Lottery WeChat mini program. According to the company, the initiative is meant to support public welfare, but not all users were convinced.
When I saw this, my first reaction was sadness. As someone in this industry, I can sense how desperate the airlines have become.
Some users commented that China's lottery system has long lost credibility, and that most people view it as a scam for the gullible. With many lottery shops already shut down and barely any sales on the ground, asking flight attendants to promote tickets in the air reflects just how dire the situation has become for airlines. Following losses reported by China's 3 major state-owned airlines, HNA Technology Investments Holding Limited, China's 4th largest airline, recently released its 2025 first-quarter results, along with its 2024 annual report. They revealed a net loss of nearly 1 billion yuan last year, and a further 60% drop in net profit in the first quarter of this year. According to the report, HNA Holdings recorded a net loss of 920 million yuan in 2024. The downward trend has continued into 2025. Their net profit, attributable to shareholders, fell 60% year-on-year in quarter 1, amounting to just 270 million yuan. Furthermore, their operating cash flow fell 26% to approximately 3 billion yuan. By the end of the year's first quarter, the company's cash reserves had dropped by 12% compared to the beginning of the year. Its debt-to-asset ratio remained high at 98.8%, nearly unchanged from the end of 2024, indicating significant pressure to repay debts. The company attributed its 2024 loss to slow recovery of international routes, intensified domestic competition, high fuel prices, and exchange rate volatility. Foreign exchange losses alone amounted to almost 1.4 billion yuan in 2024. Exchange rate fluctuations have been an ongoing issue for HNA Holdings. Significant losses were reported in the first half of 2023. Experts suggest that Hainan Airlines' challenges lie in its unique debt structure and its aircraft acquisition strategy. By the end of 2024, 75% of the 348 planes operated by Hainan Airlines were leased. This number was far higher than the other 3 major state-owned carriers, China Eastern Airlines and China Southern Airlines. Most leasing contracts are settled in US dollars. Heavy debt in US dollars made Hainan Airlines face greater losses with the yuan weakened. Data shows that every 1% fluctuation in the yuan to dollar exchange rate affects Hainan's net profit by as much as 605 million yuan. Hainan Airlines Holding Company Limited was founded in 1993 and headquartered in Haikou. The mysterious Hainan Sihang Charity Foundation was once the group's largest shareholder. At the end of 2017, Hainan Airlines Holdings faced a liquidity crisis that quickly developed into a solvency crisis. In 2021, Liaoning Fangda Group Industrial Company Limited became the acquirer during Hainan's bankruptcy restructuring. The year 2022 was Liaoning Fangda's first full year in control. Due to China's COVID-19 pandemic, the entire civil aviation industry suffered huge losses. Hainan Airlines Holding recorded an approximate 20.3 billion yuan loss for the year. Besides Hainan Airlines, China's three major airlines also reported losses. According to their 2024 financial reports, Air China, China Eastern Airlines, and China Southern Airlines posted combined net losses attributable to shareholders of approximately 6.2 billion yuan last year. In the first quarter of 2023, their combined net losses reached nearly 3.8 billion yuan. All three carriers cite intense domestic competition and exchange rate fluctuations as ongoing challenges to profitability. During the recent May Day holiday, low-cost airline Joy Air abruptly suspended all flights, shocking the industry. Based in Shanxi, Joy Air has long been mired in debt. Persistent overdue wages forced its employees to take on jobs such as taxi drivers or food deliverers to help make ends meet. The company contact's phone has become a hotline for debt collection calls. A pilot named Zhu, who worked for Joy Air, once earned 1 million yuan annually. Now he's working as a taxi and a food delivery driver. At 3 a.m. on a winter morning, while the city slept, he was already riding an electric scooter through the streets. Once a pilot, he now works as a delivery driver to support his family. Zhu has not flown a flight in 4 years. Although his pilot license is still valid, Joy aircraft certifications have expired, and related training has ceased. He described his life over these 4 years as youth wasted, passion for flying gradually worn away. Since June last year, Zhu described his salary as a stone sinking into the sea. He claims that his social insurance and housing funds have gone unpaid for 3 years. Now deeply trapped in financial difficulties, Joy Air shareholders blame each other while employee wage issues remain unaddressed. Zhu said his salary was initially paid in full, then partially, before going unpaid for months. With no social security or housing funds, he relies on multiple side jobs to support his family. He often works overnight delivering food, sometimes tutoring, sometimes driving for various taxi platforms. Depending on the month, he earns between 2,000 and 8,000 yuan, approximately 280 to 1,110 US dollars. Like Zhu, another Joy Air employee using the pseudonym Sui Bo has taken a similar path. He revealed that former pilots with million yuan annual salaries have also turned to driving for taxi services. Once elites of the cockpit, they now drive taxis in their spare time. Sui earns about 1,000 yuan, approximately 140 US dollars a month. Sui said, "To support our families, colleagues have resorted to all kinds of side jobs, food delivery, taxi services, and some have even sought other careers. Young colleagues born after 2000 mostly rely on family to survive. The company is out of money. The senior leadership's contracts expire in June, and they may move to other companies. Ordinary employees' concerns are kicked around like a soccer ball. As a company contact, Sui's phone is a hotline for debt collection calls. He explained helplessly, most of us have mortgages and car loans. Now that the company can't pay salaries, debt reminders keep coming. But with no wages, how can we repay those debts?" Initially, Joint Air was jointly invested in by the Aviation Industry Corporation of China and China Eastern Airlines. It once had over 1,000 employees. After China Eastern divested, the company underwent multiple ownership changes. It is currently 100% owned by Joy Air Company Limited. Their internal shareholders include state-owned subsidiaries like Xi'an Aerospace Investment Company and Tianjin Shuntai Investment. Joy Air is not publicly listed and does not proactively disclose financial data. In September 2015, China Eastern sold its stake through the Beijing Equity Exchange. This resulted in Joy Air's operating data being publicly disclosed for the first time. In 2014, the company reported operating losses of 210 million yuan and net losses of 150 million yuan. They had a debt-to-asset ratio of 110%. By July 2015, this ratio had risen to 118%. Employees report that all flights have been suspended. Following multiple restructurings, many wage and benefit issues remain unresolved, leaving the company in a state of neglect. The decline in performance among Chinese airlines in recent years has also led directly to serious aircraft maintenance deficiencies. This has resulted in more flight-related accidents. On May 11th, Flight MU-3828 from Changsha to Kunming, which was operated by China Eastern Airlines, attracted attention after a passenger opened the aircraft's emergency exit. The incident became a trending topic online. Jimu News reported that a young male passenger opened the door after the plane landed and was detained by police. Authorities confirmed that all passengers were safe. A senior aviation expert told reporters that depending on the aircraft model, opening an emergency exit once can cost a fine of 100 to 200,000 yuan, approximately 15,000 to 30,000 US dollars, and the plane will be grounded for maintenance for several days. Netizens questioned why the safety door was not locked. They commented that with so much automated equipment on planes, passengers should not be able to open emergency exits so easily. Some online users explained that emergency exits on airplanes are not locked while the aircraft is on the ground. This is crucial to allow passengers and crew to evacuate quickly in case of an emergency. Others questioned why such an important door is not supervised by dedicated personnel, asking who is responsible for this lapse in security. On May 5th, a sandstorm struck Yinchuan. Flight HO-2301 from Shanghai to Yinchuan attempted to land but aborted after the wheels touched down and diverted to Xi'an for an emergency landing. A passenger on that flight, under the pseudonym Fang Fang, recalled that the weather at Yinchuan Airport was very poor around noon, with severe dust and almost no runway visibility. She said it felt strange because the plane was so low, yet visibility was non-existent. After circling the airport for over minutes, the plane prepared to land. She clearly felt the wheels touch down twice, but the aircraft shook violently, and within 2 seconds, the plane climbed and aborted the landing. She described the moment. "My scalp tingled, my heart rate soared, and people around me screamed. Then silence fell." 2 minutes after the aborted landing, an announcement informed passengers that the plane would continue circling due to weather conditions. Flight attendants handed out vomit bags as many passengers became sick. Minutes later, the crew announced negotiations with the control tower to divert to Xi'an Xiangyang Airport for an emergency landing. A safety officer seated in front of Fang warned that a hard landing could risk breaking a wing, with dire consequences. After more than an hour, the plane safely landed in Xi'an. An announcement stated that passengers could not embark immediately and that the flight might resume around 3 p.m. They offered passengers the option to terminate their journey. According to flight tracking information, after landing in Xi'an, Flight HO-2301 departed at 5:35 p.m. and arrived in Yinchuan at 6:31 p.m., with a total delay of 6 hours and 36 minutes. On the morning of May 6, a staff member from Junyao Airlines confirmed that the diversion was indeed due to weather conditions. The Yinchuan Meteorological Observatory had issued a blue wind warning on May 4th, forecasting dusty weather with visibility between 1 and 8 kilometers in part of the city on May 5th. Chinese social media users posted videos showing a severe thunderstorm in Yinchuan on May 5th. Tourists driving back to Xi'an faced numerous accidents caused by poor visibility, leading to highway closures and blocked routes. As China's economy continues to weaken, many international airports have become eerily quiet. Despite the Chinese Communist Party's continued expansion of unilateral visa exemptions, foreign tourist numbers have yet to recover to pre-pandemic levels. Several influencers have posted videos from airports, expressing shock at the emptiness. On April 27th, one influencer filmed inside Shanghai Hongqiao Airport. On April 26th at 2 p.m., another user recorded Shanghai Pudong Airport's nearly empty terminal, with most duty-free shops closed. One netizen commented, "It's terrifying how empty Pudong Airport's huge terminal is. The economic downturn feels frightening." In recent years, reducing consumption has become widespread in China. This is leading people to reduce spending and travel less. The aviation industry faces growing domestic competition from high-speed rail and international challenges from geopolitical tensions. Since 2024, numerous airlines worldwide have suspended or indefinitely canceled routes to and from China. This has triggered a wave of flight suspensions. Carriers affected include Virgin Atlantic, Royal Brunei Airlines, Qantas, LOT Polish Airlines, Scandinavian Airlines, and many others. Aeromexico has not resumed routes to China 3 years after the pandemic. Direct passenger flights between India and China were suspended 4 years ago and remain inactive. After the 2024 U.S. presidential election, flights were further reduced to less than 30% of 2019 levels. Ongoing trade disputes this year continue to depress business travel. Although domestic airline capacity in China exceeds 2019 levels, international route recovery lagged behind other regions due to travel restrictions lifted only in early 2023. Globally, airlines returned to profitability in 2023, but China Southern, Air China, and China Eastern are still struggling. Airfare prices in China are falling from pandemic-era highs. Representative yields for China Southern fell almost 13%, and Air China's by more than 12%. Recent news about ticket price caps of 200 yuan and 90% off high-speed rail tickets have become very popular. Before the May Day holiday, airlines rolled out heavy promotions. Many discounts reached around 80%. Following the lifting of pandemic controls in early 2023, foreign tourists have not returned in force despite the ongoing expansions of unilateral visa exemptions. In November 2024, China announced a trial visa-free policy for ordinary passport holders from 9 countries including Bulgaria, Romania, and Japan. The exemption lasted from November 30th, 2024 to December 31st, 2025, and extended stay limits from 15 days to 30 days for visitors from 38 countries. Still, foreign tourist arrivals remain far below pre-pandemic levels. China's economic downturn began well before the U.S.-China tariff war and has contributed to declining airport traffic. On March 17th, an influencer posted a video showing Shanghai Pudong International Airport's emptiness past 7 p.m. This is normally peak hour. International flights and foreign passengers were scarce. Customs clearance times dropped from over an hour to half an hour. Metro trains to the city had only a few riders until the Zhangjiang High-Technology Park station, with many empty seats up to Lujiazhui. Netizens expressed that the scene was hard to believe. Reasons for the lack of foreign tourists in China have sparked debate in recent years. Contributing factors include internet censorship blocking many foreign apps, disappearance of convenient platforms like Airbnb, requirements to stay in only government-approved hotels, mandatory police registrations, and a deteriorating public security environment marked by several attacks on foreigners last year. Looking ahead, China's major airlines are expected to face increasing difficulties.